Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger.
That don't kill me, can only make me stronger. I need you to hurry up now, cause I can't wait much longer. I know I got to be right now, cause I can't get much longer. Man, I've been waiting all night now. That's how long I've been on you.
Now I want to share with you something that happened today. Right now, as you can tell, I'm actually very tired. I don't know if you can tell that, but there should be a few eye bags down here. And just before I did this video, I was very tired and I thought of actually not doing this video. I was thinking of, hey, maybe I can do it tomorrow morning. But I do know that if I were to do that, what will happen is I'll end up not doing it at all. I'll most probably sleep through the morning and I'll probably be behind by tomorrow. So what I decided to do was to peak my state, okay? I went to a peak state and I went through and just go and do the video. And this is also involves the Next Step Nexus. Because what I realized is when you're doing the next step, it's not that difficult. But what happens is we try to go for the dramatic ending, don't we? We try to go for that big step, and whenever we try to do that big step, sometimes we will fall, and we fall hard because we are trying to take such a big step. I think you know what I mean. So what I believe is when you take the next step is very important, because if you just see the next step and you concentrate and you do all you can where you are in that next step, and you don't worry about what happened in the past, and you don't worry about what's going to happen in the future, you guys concentrate on the present, what will happen is you'll put all your energy, and the next step is going to be an efficient step. It's going to bring you forward to your next goal. And what happens is if that next step for that day is done very well, the next step for tomorrow, if you do it very well as well, it will bring you from level 1 to level 2. And from level 2, if you keep moving that up 3, 4, 5 to 90 for a 90-day challenge. So this is very important. And one very important aspect of the Next Step Nexus I realize is this. Now we start thinking of the next step, but when we start thinking of the next step, we'll start thinking of the next step to the next step. So for instance, I think I might be confusing you a bit, but for instance, if I want to set up an online business and I want to make $1,000 in the next 90 days, there is a game plan to that. Number 1 is to build a website, number 2 is to get traffic to that website, and number 3 is to sell some product or services to the people who went to their website. So there are 3 steps, alright? So those are 3 big steps that you can take. However, there are very small steps in each step. In other words, there's very small actions that you can do to fulfill a website, for instance. For instance, for a website, you need to have a domain name, you need to have a hosting, then you need to have to link those two, then you need to have a WordPress account, then you need to set up an SQL database, then you need to do a lot of stuff, right? You need to have a theme, you need to have a plugins for the WordPress, you need to have an opt-in, you need to get autoresponders, so that kind of stuff is a lot of things. So if you go through these steps when you're thinking of doing something, what will happen is you'll feel overwhelmed. You'll feel very overwhelmed. And we both know where that leads to: procrastination. And I've been there a lot of times actually. And I actually call this information inaction. Information inaction. It's when you have a lot of information and you think, hey, intellectually I already got this idea. And somehow we thrive on the idea that we already have this concept intellectually, when in truth we do not have it at all, because we do not have it in the physical reality. We only have it in mind. And I think that in your mind, if you have something in your mind, it's fine if you're going to transmute that to the physical reality. But if you're not going to transmute that, then there's a problem with that. And how you overcome this information inaction is to get rid of all the information about the worries you have in the past and the worries you have about the future obstacles that are coming in your way, and concentrate on the present and do all you can where you are in order to make that next step. Alright? Now, one more important thing that I want to talk to you about is the idea that our emotions control our destinies. Our emotions control our destinies. You see, what I realized when I was running that day was that this is what happened, okay? So my emotions was telling me, hey Saiful, why are you running so far? You know, you don't run this far normally, and why are you running so fast? And suddenly, these emotions bring me to rationalize what I was feeling. So my brain actually started thinking about, hey, that's true, you know, I don't really run that fast usually, and I don't like running. I hate running actually. And as a result, these emotions have just been validated by my brain. And as a result, my brain passes this information back to my physical body, and I stop running. And had I just taken left step, right step, left step, right step, I would have reached that last 50 meters, and I would have reached that finishing line. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you here is that your emotions control your destiny. And how you overcome this is by actually trying to separate your emotions from yourself. So imagine this. There's this idea that you have three brains. The first brain is your primal physical brain. The second brain is your logical thinking brain. And the third one is your emotional, more human brain. Alright? So what you do is you want to separate your emotional brain, your logical brain, and your physical brain from each other. And for that moment when you're feeling like, you know, you should not be doing this, that feel like you shouldn't be achieving as much, what you want to do is to actually detach yourself, detach the emotions, and just think for a while, and stop thinking actually. Stop thinking and just do. Just goddamn do the damn thing. Alright? So pardon my language, but all you have to do is really just do it, and what you realize is that you will get momentum as you're starting to do the next steps. So that's where the power of the next steps come in. You take small steps towards your goal, and as a result you build momentum, and as you build momentum you will actually create a lot of confidence in yourself. And when you have more confidence in yourself, what happens is you take bigger steps and you reach that goal exponentially faster. And that is what the Next Step Nexus is all about. Alright, now I have an exercise for you. The exercise is to actually look at your intention and figure out a game plan for yourself. So that is step one. Figure out a game plan for yourself. If you could look at it from a bird's eye point of view, what would be the biggest steps that you have to take towards that goal? Okay, now step two is to figure out what is the next step that you have to take to reach that goal. Don't think about the next 2 or 3 or even 5 steps. Just think about the next step. And number 3, start taking that next step. Make that next step now. After you watch the video, please just take the next step. Trust me on this one. And I know you'll be thanking me very soon. Alright my friend, I'll talk to you soon. Take care.
If anybody asks you who I am, just stand up tall, look them in the face and say, I'm that star up in the sky, I'm that mountain peak up high. Hey, I made it, I'm the world's greatest.